this?
Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder, saying it's just my opinion is for cowards that are afraid of being called out. If you think that I'm wrong, good. Call me out. I don't fear rethinking my position or being wrong about anything. I'm not so stupid to think that I'm infallible, like so many other people on the internet. Now, when I first saw the Little Mermaid changes, I raised an eyebrow. Not because I hated it, but because my dumb brain was thinking of the actual science behind the melanin difference in mermaids. Like, how could they get different skin tones if they're deep beneath the ocean? But then I started thinking about having skin underwater and how they live with the pressure, and it all just kind of fell apart in my head, where I just shrugged and assumed that they were people from the real world, but then they magically became sea people for some reason. Because the whole concept really doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless the mer people are secretly horrific predators disguising themselves to lure sailors to their deaths. So I kind of got over that aspect within 5 seconds. I noticed the change, thought about the in-universe reasons behind it, and then just got over it because it's mermaids, who cares? The only thing that really bothers me is the fact that they are changing established characters into something new instead of giving us new black characters made by black creators with new lore and stories that focuses on black people and issues. It's one of the problems I have with Hollywood not taking any risks on anyone. There could be a lot more Jordan Peeles out there if given the opportunity. I'm just saying. Oh, and this is the film where I realized that Hollywood really, really hates redheads. It's kind of funny. They must think that gingers have no souls or something.
We've all seen them on the playground, at the store, walking on the streets. They creep us out and make us feel sick to our stomachs. I'm talking, of course, about ginger kids.
In all actuality, those changes made the film a lot more interesting for me personally. Not because The Little Mermaid is a good story, it still isn't no matter what. I still don't like it. It's just about a woman giving up her greatest skill and passion for a man. I know there's the whole, oh, the grass is always greener type of thing going on here, but I always thought that it was weird and poorly executed in this case. But the actress playing live action Ariel was nice enough, so whatever. I honestly don't care about that. In fact, the remake would not have caught my attention at all if every single mer person was the same skin color, or at least Triton's daughters were. The most interesting aspect here is the fact that every single one of Triton's daughters looks very different from each other. The first time I saw that picture, I laughed. It was a little extreme, and I thought that they were attacking black men for a split second there. Because there is no way that any of those girls has the same mother. What were they trying to say here? It seemed like they were trying to be so inclusive that they leaned into stereotypes just a little bit. But after a minute of chuckling, something just clicked in my brain. My thoughts were racing about the implication of how wild Triton's life had to have been before his youngest daughter started acting like a stupid brat.
How do I reach these kids?
I imagined how Triton rose to power, his younger days competing with his other brothers and sisters for the throne, each possible heir wanting the Triton and the throne for themselves. Throughout his trials, Triton watches many of his beloved siblings fall to the crooked Ursula, who is his sister in this live-action remake, although that idea was only slightly alluded to in the original. Eventually, he and his remaining kin work together to fight against Ursula. Most of his siblings perish in the struggle, but when he has Ursula at his mercy, Triton hesitates. He's not like Ursula. He can't bring himself to kill his own family, so he banishes her from the realm. And all of that drama is just in his family life. His romantic life could be even crazier. Multiple women trying to seduce him to have his heir, some succeeding, others failing when he's in mourning for his various siblings. He could want to find true love, but could be failing constantly. Maybe a woman that he does care about dies during a battle. Maybe one could be an assassin sent by Ursula to kill him while he's vulnerable. All the while, his heart slowly hardens as the losses stack up more and more. Eventually, he could just become numb to it all. It's all meaningless to him. At best, his concubines are just a distraction from his everyday life where he is constantly sad. But he has a lot of energy and frustration to get out, and we have to start making some kids because Ariel has a lot of sisters who look very different from her.
Let me ask you a question, and be honest.
Ooh.
Do I make you horny?
Do I make you horny, baby?
Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah!
But then he finds the real love of his life. Perhaps she's a servant in the palace. Unfortunately, she's wary of his reputation, so he forsakes the rest of the women in his life and dedicates himself to her, dismissing his vices, begging for a single chance. While worried, Ariel's mother, wait a second, Athena. Oh, I did not know that The Little Mermaid had a prequel movie. I remember it had a cartoon prequel series because Aladdin, the animated series, existed. And there was a Jungle Book cartoon too. Man, I think I was in kindergarten when I watched those. I have a very distinct memory of eating pizza rolls while those were on in the afternoon. Anyway, Triton opens up about his struggles, losses, and feelings. Seeing his sensitive side along with his power, Athena begins to love him. There are times where he almost falls into temptations and bad habits, but fights them off using the love he has for Athena. After years of proving himself, Triton proposes and marries Athena. The mothers of his other children are unhappy, but there's really nothing that they can do about it. Triton still treats all of them well, and he does love his daughters. But there is no doubt in anyone's mind who his favorite daughter is, the sparkle of his eye, the reason he becomes a better man and king each day.
You are the love of my life.
But Ursula is still lurking in the shadows. She concocts a scheme to kill Triton and steal the throne. She uses her magic to lure Athena away from safety by disguising herself as a child in trouble. Instead of unleashing the killing blow herself, Ursula uses a human ship to kill Athena, hoping that the cannon fire will slay her brother as well. And to be fair, I did take this part from the animated prequel wiki, so there you go. Obviously, Triton does survive. Unfortunately, he fails to save his wife. In a rage, he obliterates the human ship and places a bounty on his sister's head. He swears to kill them all, something which could be used to modify the plot of the actual live-action film to make it, a little bit better. Hardening his heart, Triton becomes much stricter with his daughters. He cares about their safety above all else. They no longer ever get to see him smile. Even Ariel doesn't bring joy to his life. And like in this animated prequel, apparently, he cries every day in front of the statue of his wife, which is a good touch. I would also add that he continues to reject other women because he's in mourning and he has a lot of respect for his dead wife. All of these factors set up the situation for The Little Mermaid and the reason why Ariel feels so constrained at all times by a father who refuses to even let her leave the palace, even if she sneaks out all the time anyway. Plus, the conflict with the humans could help change The Little Mermaid in a way to make the film actually tolerable.
You realize this means war.
And yes, I did in fact get all of that from a single picture. I kid you not that I went into a trance for 5 minutes after seeing it. My thoughts went from Triton having a very interesting life to planning it all out step by step. And this way, you could actually have a confrontation between the humans and the mer people and make things more interesting. There could be an actual world going on between the species instead of the mer people hiding away. Because why not? This is a fantasy world anyway. It's not our own. We can get away with changing a few things. That's what the remake is for, right? Maybe Ariel sneaks away and sees the results of the many different battles. Maybe she becomes smitten with Prince Eric because he protects his own and is begging the mer people to negotiate peacefully. Then she saves him after a battle, causing him to become infatuated with her as well. Plus, you could have Ariel giving up her voice and going onto land in order to negotiate peace between the two different people instead of just falling in love, even though she could, in fact, fall in love as a bonus. Two lovers from different worlds defying the odds. You have to admit that this setup sounds a lot better. It's too bad this fanfiction, which admittedly it is, isn't real. If only some brilliant author thought of a similar storyline for this and included it in a big part of his 15-book series called Written in Stone. If only that was one single story out of hundreds in the Elpicia universe. And if only this storyline, which appears in the second book in the Written in Stone series, came out soon, like on September 1st. Wouldn't that be weird? It's not like the world or basic outline of The Little Mermaid is terrible. There are definitely great concepts in there, and the climax is impactful after all. It's just so lame though overall. Giving Ariel a selfless reason to go on land and give up her voice would help a lot. It would be a lot more interesting. A tale of love and trying to keep innocent people from suffering and dying needlessly. Yeah, it seems a little bit too adult for Disney. It's not exactly their brand, but their brand used to be about making good movies, and we've seen how that's gone lately. You're welcome to disagree with me. That's fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion.
Have you not heard that Scatterbot?
Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and to continue the discussion in the comment section. And please consider giving my books Above Heaven, Dance of Frozen Death, and Vows of Blood and Honor, which will be released in September, a chance. I appreciate you. Do not despair.